Today is Monday, July 26, 2021. As always, my video clips will be bilingual, the Persian language, the English language, and will always begin with the English language, then I will be switching to the Persian language. Celebration, life, and achievement of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. On October 26, 1919, Prince Mohammad Reza Pahlavi opened his eyes to this world as his father was Reza Shah the Great, the head of state of Iran. Prince Mohammad Reza Pahlavi came to this world as World War II engulfed the nations at each other, while Iran declared itself a neutral state and did not want to take part in World War II. The Western countries and Russia did not respect and honor Iran's international treaty, as Russia invaded from the northern part of Iran, the province of Azerbaijan, which is sitting on the Black Gulf. England captured the province of Khuzestan, which is sitting on the Black Gulf. England and Russia, what do I mean by that statement? And you're going to see it in the following paragraphs. Their intention was to capture Iran and steal Iran's oil. That was the only reason. It has nothing to do with anything. England and Russia attacked Iran under the pretext that Reza Shah the Great was collaborating with Nazi Germany. And I'm going to give a historical fact that Iran was not collaborating with Nazi Germany. However, Reza Shah the Great saved European Jews from the jaw of death and made Iran their home. England wanted to install a Qajar prince who could not speak the Persian language. England's policy failed because Reza Shah the Great descended from the peacock throne, and his son, Prince Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, became king of Iran. The Western countries are desperately trying to manipulate Iran's history, that our king, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, became king of Iran because of coup 1953. That is like horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. It's horribly wrong. Like, stop manipulating Iran's history. Iran was going through internal turmoil because Russia planned to fulfill Peter the Great's final words to annex the Persian Gulf to Russia to access warm water. England still was intoxicated with the foreign policy of the Great Game and wanted to destroy Iran too. As Russia and England began to stifle unrest in Iran, His Excellency Mohammad Mossadegh could not keep foreign interference in Iran's domestic affairs. Iran's Communist Party, Tudeh Party, set the Red Army's stage to capture Iran, and Machiavellian cunning fox of England once sucking Iranian blood by prohibiting Iran from selling oil. Consequently, Iran found itself in another great game as a checkmate. A few good men came together from Iran's imperial armed forces and staged a coup to end the demise of Iran. The coup needed more than a few good men to save Iran from its extinction. People took over the street and stopped the madness in Iran. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi's legal status began to change from a constitutional monarch to a monarch. He began to expedite Iran's progress toward modernity and progress because Iran was behind European countries. It's a fact, okay? He was a constitutional monarch, and what happened, he noticed the foreign agents are extremely active in Iran, and he couldn't just sit over there, just put some stamp and changing, he just wanted to push Iran, to expedite, going very fast. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi pulled Iran from dark ages to a modern and vibrant nation. However, the Western countries deemed Iran as their colony and wanted free oil from Iran. This is based on my research, okay? I'm not using communist word or anything like that. It's just a research. You look at Mike Wallace interview with our king. Look at Canada. The fifth estate is doing an interview with our king. And if you have not read my previous blog entry or my previous video clips, please look at it. Please look at it, what I'm saying. Please, you do the research, okay? You do the research and see what you're coming into a conclusion, okay? This is my research. I noticed when the Arab and Israel war is breaking out, so what happens, the Arab, OPEC is composed mostly by Arabs, okay? The people who are sitting on those seats in the OPEC are Arab countries, okay? Then what they are coming, they do, they impose embargo against those nations, took side with Israel. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi didn't raise the price of oil or anything like that. Okay, they said there's an embargo, don't do it. Iran says, okay, I'm not going to do it. Whatever you guys say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow the mandate, the policy, which is set by OPEC. Okay? Our king, our beloved king, I love Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. He didn't do anything wrong. As a matter of fact, if you come and look at the history, you will see Iran is always was giving money to Israel. At the time of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, lending money, providing financial loan. That's what it was doing. What happens all of a sudden, because they have this mentality that Iran is a colony, cannot become independent nation. Okay, what they're coming, they do. British Broadcasting Corporation and US President Jimmy Carter begin to slander our king for human rights violation, particularly Sawar. They didn't do anything. They had Khalkhali behind prison wall, prison bars, not wall, prison bars. Yes, he was a criminal, and we saw him. He was released from prison. He started murdering people in cold blood, and his justification was this, and our cleric justification was this: if you're a good person, you go to heaven. If you're a bad person, you're going to the hell. I'm like, oh my brother, what about the person's right to, maybe they change their behavior? Maybe God showed them something and changed their behaviors. Why did you take life? You didn't give a life that you could take. And this is another part. I don't see it on the video clips, so maybe it is there. I haven't seen it. When our beloved king was leaving the country, I remember he turned back and says, Iran will be Iranistan. That means Iran will become a cemetery. And today, Iranians are standing up against not just the regime in Iran, against foreign enemies too, and they're saying Iran, because rescue Iran. And what do I mean by that? I have noticed there are the YouTube channel like Pars News, Kuche, Aliye Javanmardi, Kusk, collecting news, Khabarchin, and there are many. Iranian woman Firuze, color, they mean color. All these, and they have each like 15,000 views or 20,000 views, and they're not letting anymore BBC or even, we are a little bit suspicious about Iran International to hijack any kind of a situation. They're like, oh, you said that, you are working with them, you're wrong. And they're working hard on those issues. And I'm very proud of to see Iranians are working hard. It's not written here. I wanted to create a different section for that, to say, well done guys, like, but it's coming through here. Okay, I will be speaking. Some of you may say, how come you didn't put July 27th is the day His Majesty departed from this world? I see, if you're talking about it, he didn't leave us. If I'm talking about him, he's with us. So that is how I see him. That is how I see the situation. He didn't leave us. He's with us. Okay, I will be speaking the Persian language. دوستان عزیز، در رابطه با پادشاه عزیزمون نوشتم که ما باید یه سری مسائل رو به صورت خیلی جدی گرفته بشه. مثلا اینه که پادشاه عزیز ما محمد رضا پهلوی شاهزاده بوده. وقتی چشمش رو به این دنیا باز میکنه، جنگ جهانی دوم آغاز شده، نه معذرت میخوام، جنگ جهانی اول آغاز شده و من باید اینو درست کنم. وقتی که ایشون چشمشون رو باز میکنن، پادشاه ایران بوده. بعد در اون زمان میان میگن که جنگ جهانی ایشون هم جنگ جهانی اول رو دیده، هم جنگ جهانی دوم. البته در جنگ جهانی اول کودک بودن. بعد این کشورهای اروپایی مثل روسیه، انگلیس میان جاهای نفتخیز ایران رو میگیرن. این یه هیستوریکال فکته و ما باید خیلی روش انگوش بذاریم. یعنی نمیتونیم بگیم نه فراموش کنیم و اینو، باید روش خیلی انگوش گذاشته بشه، برای اینکه ایران ما یک کشور مقدسیه و باید ازش حفاظت کنیم. نگاه کنید، پادشاه عزیز ما اومد کشور رو از اون دارک ایج، در اون قرون وسطا که بود، نجات میده. ولی کشورهای روسیه هی میخوان برن خلیج فارس، واسه اون افغانستان حمله میکنن، هی کشورهای ما رو میخوان نابود کنن. انگلیس‌ها از این و هی شلوغ بازی در میارن، هی میخوان ایران ما رو عقب نگه دارن. ما نخواهیم گذاشت ایران ما نابود بشه. همیشه دوست دارن نفاق ما بین ما بندازن در رابطه با آقای مصدق و پادشاه ما. خب آقای نخست وزیر ما تو اون زمان اومد و نتونست کشور رو اداره کنه و باعث شد که روسا، حزب توده، میخواستن ارتش سرخ وارد ایران بشه و انگلیسا از این مشکلات اقتصادی برای ایران ایجاد کرده بودن. وضعیت ایران خیلی بد بود و یک کودتا رخ میده که خود ارتش توش دست داشته، ولی واقعا ارتش نمیتونه با کودتا پیروزی بیاره. مردم میان خیابون و کودتا به پایان میرسه و ایران همینطوری میاد جلو. و چون کشورهای خارجی ایران رو به عنوان کلونی میبینن و قیمت نفت رفته بود بالا، پادشاه ما رو مقصر میدونن. اصلا پادشاه ما کاری نداشت. حتی به خاطر این بوده که در جنگ 1973 میلادی قیمت نفت خیلی رفته بود بالا و ایران داشت خیلی به سرعت پیشرفت میکرد. میخواستن جلوی ایران رو بگیرن و بی بی سی و جیمی کارتر اومدن گفتن که پادشاه ما نمیدونم آدم بدیه، ساواک بده اینا، و خمینی رو انداختن تو جون ما. یه اژدها، یک جانور افتاد به جون ما رو تیکه پاره کرد و امروز مردم ایران به پا خواستن. و من میخواستم یه ویدیو کلیپ رو یه بلاگی کنم از پارس نیوز، از کوچه، از کیوز، از خبرچین، از آقای علی جوانمردی، از همه این بلاگرها تشکر کنم، چون من دیدم اینا قشنگ با یه اتحاد ملی آوردن جلو. اینا باعث شدن که یک اتحاد ملی بشه، مردم بیان با روشنفکری به مسائل ایران نگاه کنن. بی بی سی میاد تفرقه بندازه ما بین ما، میاد برو سری میان. یا مثلا ایران اینترنشنال میخواد یه کاری کنه، میگن مردم یه مقدار شکاکه در رابطه با ایران اینترنشنال، میگن برو. یا من و تو، اینا مردم ایران شکاک هستن، اعتماد ندارن، گوش میکنن برنامه‌هاشون رو، نگاه میکنن ولی اعتماد ندارن. ولی میبینن همین نیروهای عظیم ماها، همین بلاگر هستن تو یوتیوب چنل. ذره‌بین هستش، خیلی کارهای خوب میکنن، خیلی هستن ایرانی ها تو یوتیوب چنل زدن و دارن با جمهوری اسلامی جلوی جمهوری اسلامی واسطدن و اتحاد ملی دارن درست میکنن. همین شماها هستین، همین مردم هستن که اتحاد ملی دارن و کارهای خیلی محکمی دارن انجام میدن برای آزادی ایران و باید از شما انسان که پشت این تریبون ها رو درست کردید وقت میذارید. نگاه کنید خیلی سخته. برنامه‌های ایران رو نگاه میکنن، برنامه‌های آمریکا و اروپا اینا رو نگاه میکنن، همه وارد این مسئله ایران شدیم که ایران رو آزاد کنیم. من تاریخ درگذشت پادشاه، این پادشاهی که دوست دارم ننوشتم و نخواهم نوشت، برای این که ما داریم در رابطه با ایشون، با پادشاه عزیزمون صحبت میکنیم. پس ایشون نرفته، ایشون تو قلب ماست، تو مغز ماست. ما چجوری میتونیم بگیم که مثلا ایشون رفته؟ ایشون نرفته، ایشون با ماست و همیشه خواهد بود و هیچ وقت نمیره. بذارید این آمریکایی و انگلیسی اینا فکر کنن ایشون رفته. نه، ایشون نرفته. بهشون هم بگید که ایشون همیشه تو من گریم گرفتم.